Previously on Rural Reno.
We bought this rundown timber cottage in regional Queensland.
Today is finally the day that we get to start prepping to sand the hardwood floors. We'll get this out as carefully as possible without damaging the neighbouring boards. Success!
I'm so excited to see what they're going to come up like.
You can certainly still see the marks.
Some people probably wouldn't be happy with this, but...
Yeah, well, are we happy with this?
No, I think it needs to be
Yeah.
better. The only issue is the sand is supposed to go back today.
This job is now going to take twice as long and cost twice as much. Can I extend it for an extra 7 days?
How long would you like to extend it for?
Can I extend it for an extra 7 days?
Alright, so we've extended that for you. The extended hire price will be $234. Is that okay?
Yep, that's no worries.
Total? Yep. So that's due back on the 6th of January at 11 a.m. Is that okay?
Yep. Do I have to pay for that now?
No, that's okay. You can pay for that when you come in.
Alrighty, no worries. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
No worries. You have a good day.
You too, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Alrighty, extra 7 days. Yes, let's get into it.
So the plan is to go back to doing diagonal to try and level the floor. We're going to be using the 60 grit paper because that's all we've got left. So we'll do the diagonal runs and then we'll go and do the straight runs, and hopefully that will level it and get rid of all these marks that we're trying to get rid of. So wish us luck.
Alright, so we've been through bedroom 2, going diagonally like we said we were going to. I did 2 passes like that, and then I did 1 pass following the grain on the boards, and the marks seem to be getting worse, not better. So we come out into the living space, and then we just followed the grain of the boards, but actually going a little bit faster and getting a little bit of speed up, and that seems to be what's working the best. So I mean, it might not be the right way to do it, but that's what's working here today. I've just done the kitchen, and it's looking better. Not 100%, but definitely better than it was. So we're just going to keep going with that for now. And yeah, it's on 60 grit and just going a little bit faster than what we've been doing. So maybe does come down to poor technique. Really not sure. But anyway, that's what we're doing. So let's keep going. Okay, so we've done some more research. I know we're doing lots of different techniques, but that's just how it is when you don't really know what you're doing. And I think what I just did then has worked the best. So again, a little bit faster with the finer grits, but what I did was instead of running perfectly parallel with the boards, I would start here, say about 1/3 into the machine on this board, and then by the time I got to the end, I had actually passed over like this, just going on a very slight angle. And I think that has produced the best results so far. So this room was with 60 grit, so this one just needs to come up to 80, and that's the whole house done up to 80. So we'll just quickly run around the edges now with 60, do 80 in here, and then we'll be ready to putty. Hey everyone, if you're watching and enjoying this series, the best way that you can support us is by subscribing to our YouTube channel or following us on Facebook.
That's right, every bit of engagement, whether it's liking, commenting or sharing, really helps get the series out there to new people that might not have seen it otherwise.
So thank you again, and let's get back to the renos.
Okay, so today's job is oiling the floors. And to do this, we've chosen Fitty's Hard Wax Oil. And the reason why we chose Fitty's is because they actually have a pre-tinted range. So you don't need to purchase a stain and then an oil as well.
Yeah, and another good thing about this hard wax oil is if you ever need to replenish the floors from wear and tear, apparently you don't need to do a real heavy sand. You could just do a light sand and then reapply the oil.
Yep, so we chose the colour Dark Oak. And the reason why we chose that is because we've got a lot of variation in the colouring in our floorboards. We didn't want to go towards the red colouring, so we chose a colour that matched the darkest board in the room.
Yeah, so to start off, we'll just be going around the edges, cutting in with a small brush, and then once that job is done, we're going to use a soft bristled deck brush and we'll just follow the grain of the boards. We are just super excited to finally be at this stage of restoring these old hardwood floors. Okay, well, we made a huge error with oiling the floors.
Yeah, it didn't really go to plan and it's kind of turned out like a disaster.
Not kind of like a disaster. It was an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
We read the instructions on the tin and we thought we were applying it correctly, but we almost knew straight away that something wasn't right. So we started off with the soft bristled deck brush, but we could tell within just a couple minutes of using it that that was not the correct way to apply it.
So it was putting on way too much oil, it was way too thick, doing a terrible job. So we decided to scrap that and we went and picked up a roller and tried that instead, and we thought that was going okay.
Yeah, it still appeared to be going on a little bit thick, but we were like, oh, we need to trust the process. Perhaps the boards are really good at absorbing this oil, or, you know, I should say that the oil will be absorbed.
Because apparently hard wax oil, it really does absorb.
Yeah, and you were saying it's, you read that it was very forgiving?
Yeah, it was very forgiving. I read or I saw a video and it was saying don't be alarmed if there's, you know, a little bit of residue on the board because it will absorb.
But no.
I think it was different for us because we had the tinted version, and after realising our mistake or seeing the results that we did, we came home and we were just distraught after doing weeks of work sanding the floors.
I know, yeah, it's such a big effort in getting those floors sanded.
Yeah, and I spent all night researching what we did wrong and how to fix it. And I discovered that there was additional instructions that weren't on the tin but on the website if you're doing oiling of floors. So we actually had to, well, we were supposed to dilute the tinted oil. So we were supposed to do a 10% ratio of the tinted colour with 90% of clear.
And we did 100%. 100% of the oil on the floor.
Yeah.
It just looked like we had put down tar on the floor, a plummy, purpley coloured tar.
It looked like the colour of your shirt.
Yeah.
It was so dark.
It was so dark and we thought, what have we done?
Yeah.
What have we done?
And like the main problem, I could probably handle how dark it was, but the main problem was that it was on way too thick.
Yeah, very tacky finish.
Yeah, it was sticky, and it wasn't drying. So we left it, we put it on, we weren't really sure. So we're like, oh, we'll leave it for the drying time, which was like 6 hours. Come back, it was not dry. It was sticky to touch. Like it was like wax, wax that you wax your body hair with. Like it was gross.
Yeah.
It was so sticky and yeah, it just wasn't drying. And with the research I found, it said that it will never dry properly. It will always be that tacky if it's on that thick. In my night of panic and researching how to fix this, I only came across 2 other videos or articles where people had similar issues. Not many people had used the tinted version of the hard wax oil, so it was kind of hard to find people that had this issue, or maybe they're smarter than us, I don't know.
Definitely.
But there was an article of a guy who had the same issue. It wasn't drying, it was too tacky, and the only suggestion everyone had was to sand it off, which I really didn't want to do.
No.
We didn't want to have to go through that again.
Could you imagine? There'd be no boards left.
Yeah. And then the other one was a couple who had done a tint. They didn't use hard wax oil. I think they had just used a stain, but had the exact same issue. It was too dark. And they went around with methylated spirits and removed it just with a rag. She said it took 2 weeks to remove it. I got a piece of board and applied the hard wax oil in the same manner we did at the house, and then I did a test of a few things that I had researched, and I found that mineral turpentine was the best at getting it off. So then we just bought bulk mineral terps and started to remove it by hand.
Yeah, and as we progressed through the rooms, we were trying different things. You know, first we were just doing 2 rags, one to sort of turn it into a slurry and one to wipe it up. And then what were we doing? We had a broom. We were trying to, you know, pour the terps down on the floor and then scrub it with a broom, and then someone wipe it up with a big towel. And then towards the end there, we just used the 120 grit sandpaper on our handheld scrubby sandpaper device thing, and yeah, same thing, terps on the floor, just give it a good scrub, and then Rachel going behind and wiping it up. Yeah,
it dissolved pretty well with the terps, like the top of it, because it was so thick and not drying, but it did leave some residue, some marks.
It still wasn't coming up perfect, you know, like it was leaving stuff behind because some of the oil had gotten in thick. We were sort of trying to get it back, trying to save it, get it back to being nice, you know.
Get it back to how it looked when we first sanded, because, you know, we had a hard time with the sanding machine, and then we had to hand sand a lot of the floors to get it to be as nice as we liked it. And then now we've got blotches everywhere.
Blotches, and it just looks terrible, and it feels like we've just gone back 10 steps, you know. It's just, it's super disheartening. So after removing as much of the sticky residue as we could, we decided we're just gonna have to hand sand the whole thing. I think we did the whole house twice with 80 grit, hand sanding, 80 square meters. Unbelievable, unbelievable work. And then we put the 120 grit back onto the hand sanding stick thingo. I don't know what it's called. And then just went over the house to get that nice smooth finish, but still didn't end up with a result like we had previously, obviously with the floor sander. So again, a little disappointed in that.
It is a little disappointing. It kind of looks a little more aged.
Yeah, it looks aged now, that's right.
So we just, like, you know, we had the option, we could have gone and got the sander again and restarted, or put more effort into hand sanding, like do another week of hand sanding, but we were just exhausted. And
we just need to keep the ball rolling, you know. We can't afford to have setbacks like this over and over again, you know.
So we had a little bit of the tinted Fitties hard wax oil left over, about 350 mil, I think it was. Unfortunately, we don't have a Fitties supplier up here. We would have had to buy it online, which would have been another week to arrive. So we decided to go and grab a hard wax oil, a clear hard wax oil from Bunnings, and we just went with the Feast & Watson hard wax oil. And took a risk and mixed the Fitties, the tinted Fitties, with the Feast & Watson hard wax clear. And then we tested it on the floor, and it looked really good. It was a good colour. It wasn't as dark as what we kind of wanted it originally.
And a little bit of a red tinge. Like, we were trying to sort of move away from the red, as we've said, and wanted to go with a darker colour. We sort of just got to accept what we have now.
Accept what it is. But it mixed really well. It went really creamy. There wasn't any separation or anything like that. I don't know if it's going to have any long-term effects, but right now it seems to be okay. And from what I researched, you can mix different brand hard waxes, and people have experimented with that, so I'm hoping it's going to be okay.
So this time, instead of using a deck brush or the roller, we decided that what we were going to do is apply it using the same method that we did for our sample tests, which was just using a rag. So we went and bought some rags, and we were just dipping the rag into the tin and then spreading it over the floor, and then using a separate rag just to wipe up the remaining residue, and then sort of buffing and blending it in, and you can see the dark spots and the light spots, so it was easy to blend. And this process we were really happy with.
It was kind of like a wax on, wax off process.
We did lots of waxing on and waxing off, that's for sure, and I am so sick of it. I'd be pretty happy never to do that again.
So with the Feast & Watson, it actually says you can't put it, well, you shouldn't put it on where temperatures are over 35 degrees.
And we're experiencing a serious heat wave here at the moment.
We were coming in, today's a heat wave, so last night we knew we had to get it done. So we spent all day yesterday sanding, doing the final sanding, and then all last night until after 11 o'clock waxing.
Yeah, and even though this has been a huge disaster, what we have finished with now, we're actually quite happy with.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, like we said, it looks a little bit aged as well, which wasn't a deliberate thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
And I don't think we should spend too much time worrying about what could have been, even
Yeah.
though I've been doing that all morning.
yeah.
But it looks good, and we're going to work with it. You know, you live and you learn. It's 100% rookie error.
Yeah, it is a rookie error. Yep. But anyway, yeah, like we said, it's yeah, it's an acceptable result now. Like, we are thankful for that. So
Yeah.
we did save it. We did save the floors, because there was a minute there was a hot minute when we thought we were not going to save these floors.
Yeah, we're going to have to put lino or
and we're going to have to, yeah, bloody put laminate flooring on it or something. Bring
Give
all
up.
the carpet back in and lino and staple it all down again.
just give up.
Yeah, just give up. Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, so now, you know, even though the colour's not quite what we wanted, it's still going to be very nice, you know,
Yeah.
once all the furniture and that's in there. You know, they say using hard wax oil is foolproof, but I guess we are just some special sort of fools, you know. Oh. So hopefully in the next episode, with all the stuff we've got lined up, we're really hoping to have a bit more of a win.
Yeah, so the next project is restoring our timber doors and our brass hardware. So if you've seen on our socials, we have already started this, but we're going to get stuck into the remainder of the doors that we've got left. So we're really looking forward to showing you guys the process.
So hopefully you guys stick around to see all that happening, and I guess we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.